Welcome back to another reaction for Ascendance of a Bookworm Season 4 Episode 7.
寄付金集めの演奏会が無事に終わり、季節は秋。ハッセの昇進殿は準備が整い、受け入れを待つばかりとなっていた。やったー！聞いてくれ！ハッセに灰色神官を移動させる時の護衛になることが決まった。これでマインに会える。
誰かが聞いたらどうするの？
悪い。嬉しくてつい。マインの髪飾りか。
3日後に納品なんですって。
間に合うのか？
間に合わせるよ。私これだけは絶対に誰にも取られたくないの。唯一マインと会える時間になりそうだから。
どういう意味だ、トゥーリン。
これからは神殿にいる時間が減るだろうってベンノさんが。そう。私もマインの顔を近くで見たいわ。心配だもの。
I mean, the magic contract is full of loopholes. I mean, alone that Thule is allowed to meet her already quite dicey, because the magic contract, it is more or less, it acts on what is written on it. And it acts without really any supervision. It's not like a person comes in and is like, oh, you're going against the magic contract. If you violate the contract, you get punished. Simple as that. No one else is going to be there, oh, you did that. It is automatic. So what is written on there is very specific. And seemingly, I mean, we can interact with Thule, no problem.
ギルベルタ商会が到着しました。いつもトゥーリと一緒にかんざしを作っている職人です。本日は挨拶のために連れてまいりました。
Again, loophole. Because you are not allowed to meet as family, right? That was, I believe, the writing. So as long as they don't acknowledge each other as family, they can meet. They can do whatever they want.
聞いてないよ、ルッツ。
悪い。一緒に行きたいって急に頼まれたからさ。
もうびっくりしすぎて死ぬかと思った。お貴族様の生活はどう？無理はしてない？そう聞きたそうな顔してる。マインと会うことがあってもお互い家族とは名乗らないこと。マインに対して貴族に対する態度で接すること。
Again, very specific wording, and as long as you don't violate that, the contract is not going to act. I also don't remember what the punishment was. I don't even know if you had to write down the punishment. But we do know there are a couple of these contracts around. I don't know if the contract between her and Lutz was a magic contract. I believe it was part of the contract she signed with Benno, right? That Lutz has to be part of her making stuff.
お元気そうで安心しました。
母さんも。ローゼワイン様、こちらが新しい髪飾りでございます。
Very autumn. I mean, nice brown colors. We have like some more fall-oriented produce, if you can call it that.
素敵。
By the way, these are massive. I mean, look at it. It takes so much of her head if she wears this one. I also feel like they get bigger and bigger with every iteration.
つけていただいてもよろしくて。
はい。
I'm not sure, but I believe they are. I mean, she did talk to Lutz quite openly, so they are in her chamber, right? Meaning that there's a little bit more privacy in here. One of the big parts. I mean, this is all world building and stuff surrounding the story, but you don't see Brigitte here ever. I mean, or you did not see her until this point here, because Damuel, he knows what is going on, but Brigitte, the other knight, she does not. And we did see her interjecting whenever a commoner was a little bit too casual with mine. So that is why whenever we went into the secret chamber here, it is only Damuel who comes along and people who know already what is happening. I mean, Benno knows the connection, naturally Ferdinand, Damuel, but Brigitte does not. And they want to keep her out of it, for the time being at least.
母さんの手だ。
終わりました。
似合うかしら。
とてもよくお似合いです。
ローゼワイン様、お気に召していただけましたか？
はい、私の想像以上でした。
Don't really like the brown. I don't see it fits well with the rest of what she has. Maybe if she changes her outfit. But I like the other colors a lot more. A lot more vibrant, not as droopy.
ね、本物の貴族様みたいだったでしょ。
それからの私は下町の秋の洗礼式や収穫祭やハッセの視察の準備などに追われ忙しく過ごしていた。
Also, there are some parts that we just are not really addressing. We never went back to see what happened after at the end of episode 1, which I feel like is a very... It's not really good decision, right? We had a big cliffhanger, we never addressed it directly. It just got resolved somehow. I mean, you could still hope that they will bring it up at some point, but it's too late, right? You had to either continue like a normal cliffhanger would, or the episode after, the third episode, you needed to address it. Now it's like people already forgotten about it. And there's also a lot of stuff that I feel like is not as it's not shown as much as I would like. One of them, again, I do have some friends who watch the show that don't really know the story. And there are some bits and pieces which showcases, or there are some bits and interactions which become more apparent later on. How important they are, how strange normally they seem, and a lot of stuff makes more sense with context later on. But there's some stuff that is not really showcased as much. As example, that mine is still weak. Because the assumption was always, hey, as soon as she's becoming a noble, she's able to release her mana, she's going to get better. She's going to grow, she's going to be stronger, she doesn't have to always sit in her bed. And even though she is doing her training, or she trained a lot, and she is able to do more physically, she's still struggling. As I remember, if I remember correctly, she still falls sick frequently. She still has to stay in bed whenever she overexerts. I'm pretty sure she can't even walk from one part of her palace where, you know, the orb lives to the other side of the palace without struggling. Again, as far as I remember. But the show doesn't really showcase it that well. We did have a couple, oh, she fell sick again, oh yeah, she's in bed. We had like 3 or 4 instances showcased, or 1 or 2 showcased, and the rest was like talked about. But she's still not doing well. I'm pretty sure I would have to check. I'm pretty sure, because we have Wilfried and we have Mine. And I'm pretty sure Mine is supposed to be older than Wilfried. But she's like a head smaller. That is one of those things. She's not really doing good physically. Again, in this case, I mean, you would not believe she has any problems, right?
お疲れのようですね。
Which is also one of the reasons for the high beast, because the high beast she can use to potentially not have to exert herself as much.
いいえ、大丈夫よ、フラン。この先は当分誰とも会えないんだよね。はあ、母さんの手のぬくもり、まだ残ってる。
Again, very, very nice detail on the stitching or whatever you call it. It does feel like something made.
新館長がいらっしゃいました。
先日ベンノから連絡があった。ハッセの昇進殿に灰色神官を派遣してほしいそうだ。
昇進殿は印刷工房として使うだけでなく、身寄りのない子供たちが生活できる場所にするつもりだ。
Now, this is also part that is not really showcased well. Now, we more or less did magic Fugazi to get this building up and running. However, all the windows, all the doors, and all the furniture is not included in making the building. Only the white stuff. If it's white, that is what the magic did. But all the windows, the door, all of that was not there. Which is one of the reasons why they were like, he was pushing back against Sylvester, because he was like, oh, here's the building, let's start. And she's like, we can't, there's nothing here. You can't really do much here without having any furniture.
子供たちの世話と工房の仕事は灰色神官が指導することになっている。
ベンノからは 門の兵士を動員してほしいと頼まれている。
門の兵士。
私としては東門の市長にその役を任せようと思うのだが。
父さんに会える。私も馬車で一緒に参ります。
バカ者。領主の娘が町の外へ馬車で向かうことになれば護衛するのは騎士団だ。下町の兵士の出番などなくなるに決まっているであろう。
そうですね。
This is also one of those interesting parts because we know Benno likes mine because, you know, she brought a lot of business to him. He more or less taught her how to be a merchant, and he sees her as something like an adoptive daughter, like a little bit, you know, because they spend so much time together. So him helping her and being like, hey, maybe we should have guards, which makes sense in the grand scheme, but maybe a noble would not think about. And then having Ferdinand go and propose to bring her dad in is a little bit unusual, because Ferdinand, I mean, he doesn't really show much emotion, right? The only emotion you can see is maybe him getting annoyed, or the only time you saw him seem to be having a good time, be happy, is whenever he was able to punish a mine with the books. But other than that, he is not really that. He does not seem like he would care that much.
人の話を最後まで聞きなさい。
という流れで灰色神官たちを移動させる予定だ。
それにしても驚いたな。まさかおじさんが護衛につくなんて。
俺もだ。これでやっと会える。
いや、会えないだろう。貴族は騎銃で行くからな。
ああ、そっか。
そんなバカな。なんとかならないのか。
おじさん。
旦那様に何とかできることではありません。
父さん、どうしちゃったの？
お前たちだけずるいよ。なあ、カミル。
Yeah, sure, ask him. He has no idea. He's a little baby.
カミルにも嫌われた。
ってわけで、おじさん、ドヨーンと落ち込んで仕事にならないってトゥーリとオットーさんから聞いたぞ。
父さんたら私と同じこと考えてる。確かに機銃で移動するけど、
兵士には君のハッセ滞在中の護衛も任せるつもりだ。
本当か？じゃあギュンタンおじさんに伝えておくからな。
それより手紙書くよ。ハッセで会えるの楽しみにしているからね。お仕事頑張って父さん。
私たちが言っても全然なのに、手紙1枚で元気になるんだから。
よし、頑張るぞ。
マインに会ったら元気づけてあげて。あの子この間は甘えたそうな顔して抱きしめてあげたかったわ。
マイン。
But you can't. I mean, you can. But you do have to live with the repercussion.
わかった。ハッセであったら俺がうんと抱きしめてやるよ。
ダメだよ、そんなことしたら。
そのくらいの気持ちで会ってくるってことさ。
ええ、お願い。
She's so fucking small. Holy crap. Her standing is not even getting... Everyone that is kneeling, there's only one person, maybe, okay, two people that are smaller than her, while she's standing.
道中の護衛よろしくお願いします。
お任せください、ローゼマイン様。
父さんだ、父さんだ、父さんだ。 そしてハッセの視察の日がやってきた。一通り視察を終えると、私は小神殿の中に隠し部屋を作った。そして
この小神殿を守るための魔術具だ。小神殿は創造の魔術で作った。その魔力は春まで持たない。ここを守るのは君の仕事だ。君の魔力で守りの魔術を作動させる。
はい。
これでいいだろう。視察は終了だ。
大人ご苦労様です。私からの気持ちです。後で皆をねぎらってあげてください。
お気持ち確かに受け取りました。これからもハッセでの護衛は私にお任せください。
It is a little bit sad that is the only way she can get in contact with her old family. All of these meetings where they have this pretty big gap between each other. They can't cross whatever they just can't cross this gap. I mean, with that, because the episode is, you know, the Haas, whatever, is this done? Because this seems like we are already on the way back.
今日は子供の引き渡しが行われる。
出迎えの準備が整っていないようですね。
ギルベルタ商会から連絡が行っているはずなのですが。
I feel like they would want to welcome you because you are part of the Orb family, right? You are pretty high up.
神殿長と神官長だと。申し訳ございません。
俺は記念式に来た青色巫女じゃないか。神殿長は？
子供はどこだ？通達はしてあったはずだ。全員連れてきなさい。
I'm guessing he is looking for the old bishop. So this would mean that I'm assuming you have like kind of this meeting every year, at least once a year, I'm assuming, where the High Bishop comes around. I don't know for what. Maybe they get donations, maybe it's just a cursory visit. I don't really know. But seemingly the High Bishop was visiting here, but now he's not because, you know, he's gone. And between the times his last visit and now, it's approximately maximum a year, my guess. Meaning that the whole situation, we only have maximum of 1 year gone by. I mean, we know we get told the change of the season quite regularly, right? So it's maybe like half a year? I do not remember when we got rid of the old High Bishop. But I'm assuming that is what he was looking for.
はい、今すぐ。
これで全員です。
14人か。
報告された人数と違いますけれど。
報告したものが間違えたのでしょう。
違う、嘘だ。姉ちゃんもマルテも売られるから隠されたんだ。
黙れトール。
フェルディナンド様は全員とおっしゃった。命令が聞こえなかったか。
誰か二人を連れてこい。
Now that I think about, we have Ferdinand, we have mine, we have Brigitte, and we have Damir. Now, Brigitte and Damir are the knights of mine, but Ferdinand doesn't have a knight at his side. We know, I forgot his name, but was it, I believe, the green-haired brother? He is like Ferdinand. Closest knight, right? He's always at his side. I'm just wondering, maybe because he's the high priest or whatever he is now and he doesn't have any knights, but he's here. But if he's outside, he has like accompaniment. Because the Damir and Brigitte are mostly for safety, right? So Ferdinand should also have some safety outside, but I guess not.
Watakushi wa Rose Mine 昇神殿の運営を任されています。今日は私の昇神殿に移りたい人を探しに来ました。水車小屋のところ。そうです。あの昇神殿の中には寝る場所と食事が用意してあります。その代わり仕事をしてもらいます。働かざる者食うべからずです。どうですか？移りたい人はいますか？
I mean, it doesn't really give them much to go on, right? This is just a really risky bet that they go with you to the monastery and live a better life than whatever they get here. It's just... It's not very convincing.
それって姉ちゃんを売らないってことか？なら俺と姉ちゃんは行く。
ノーラはダメだ。
黙れ。ローゼマイン様はお前に発言を許していない。
I feel like in every shot, mine gets smaller.
昇神殿に来れば売りはしません。移ってきますか？
だから行くって言ってるだろ。
あなたに聞いていません。私は本人の意思を聞いているのです。
昇神殿に行く。売られてトールと離れ離れになるのは嫌だ。
では歓迎いたします。
二人が行くなら俺もマルテも行く。
リック、
ここにいたら次に売られるのはマルテだ。
やめろリック。
他に移りたい人はいませんか？私にできるのはここまでだ。
I feel like you can do more. You could maybe show them what the work would entail, what the food would entail, what the sleeping would entail. Give them a little bit more than come with me and you get food and you have to work. What kind of work? The mine?
ではこの4人を引き取ります。
問題なかろう、町長。
はい。
I mean, you can't really go against the orb, can you?
彼らは今ギルとニコラが清めています。綺麗になったら食事をとってもらう予定です。
それにしても、あの町長は厄介そうだな。
前神殿長と似ていますよね。
ああ、自分に権力があると思い込み、逆恨みが得意で執念深く、面倒であろうな。
あの様子だと絶対逆恨みされてますよね。なるべく穏やかに関係を保ちたいのですが。
ローゼマイン、都合よく物事が動くなどと考えるな。自らに都合よく動かすしかなかろう。
それで新館長は自分に都合が良くなるように計画を練るのですか？
自助努力だ。
One moment. Who's behind him? It's Damir.
貴族社会で育ち、理由があって神殿に入った。
母は違えど私の大事な弟です。
騙されるな、ジルベスター。マインとの縁組もどうせフェルディナンドの入れ知恵だろう。
I mean, not necessarily wrong.
自助努力ね。
きれい事を述べて済ませられることは存外少ないぞ。
新館長はそうやって貴族社会を生き抜いてきたんだろうけど。
Also, pretty solid advice. The amount of problems you can solve with pretty words are surprisingly few, yeah. Even though they appear to be solved, a lot of problems still are not going to be gone just by using pretty words. Like, I don't know, you were saying. Doubly so in this world, right?
ローゼマイン様、清めが終わりました。あなたの名前と年を教えてちょうだい。
ノーラ、14歳。
言葉遣いが。
教育を受けていない下町の者はこれが普通で。
What?
ノーラ、14歳。
Tell me your name and age. Nora 14. Oh, this is not how you're supposed to speak. Come on, chill out.
言葉遣いが。
教育を受けていない下町の者はこれが普通です。
You can be happy she knows her age.
名前と年齢は？
この子はマルテ。
本人が答えないとダメです。小神殿には貴族が多く出入りします。黙っていると反抗したとみなされて処分されます。
そんな。
さあ、自分の口で言うのですよ。名前と年齢は？
姉ちゃんとマルテに何してるんだ。どけ、離れろ。
I mean, they don't really know better as kids, but you should not go against the noble for like any reasons.
まるで君の父親だな。
マインを守ると決めた時から命を投げ出す覚悟はできている。
家族なら当然の反応だね。いいですか？貴族に逆らうとどうなるか見ていたでしょ？貴族に逆らえば命がありません。ですから絶対に逆らわないでください。
やめてトール。
私の言うことを守ってくれれば、あなたたち兄弟を引き離すようなことはしません。
あそこには戻りたくない。
マルテ、8歳。リック、12歳。マルテの兄だ。
俺はトール、11歳だ。
それでは昼食を食べましょう。教育を受けていない下町の者はこれが普通です。
Sure.
なんで一緒に寝ちゃダメなんだよ。
Many reasons.
ここは女子棟です。男子は男子棟で寝るのが決まりです。それ以外の場所で寝るのはダメです。
なんだよ、あれもダメこれもダメって。お前には家族と離れたくない気持ちがわからないのか。
ローゼマイン様ほどその気持ちをご存知の方はいらっしゃいません。
なんだよ。
ローゼマイン様はその能力を認められ、洗礼式で家族と離れることを決意し、養子の養女となりました。そして今は神殿長に任じられ、城と神殿を行き来しながら家族と会えぬ寂しさを胸に生活していらっしゃいます。姉を売られずに済み、兄弟で暮らせるようにしてくださったのはローゼマイン様です。これ以上の無礼はたとえローゼマイン様が許しても筆頭そば使いの私が許しません。
暴力を振るったことのないフランにここまでさせたのは私の落ち度だ。
I mean, it showcases pretty well how much influence she had on people like Fran and Lutz and Gil. All of these, you know, had their own little things. I mean, we should not forget Lutz wanted to be a trader. He wanted to be outside, going from city to city before he met Mine and then Benno, who told him that, I believe it was Benno, it was not Ben, no, it was Benno, who told him that the dream of every trader is essentially settling down in a city. And it's not as good as you assume. We had Gil, he was very defiant. Fran, as example, never wanted to be the attendant of Mine. He wanted to be the attendant of, or he was the attendant of Ferdinand. And he wanted to stay with Ferdinand, right? But now that he spent all this time with Mine, or Rose Mine, you see how much influence she had on him and how much she has grown on him.
って痛かったでしょ。私のために怒ってくれてありがとう、フラン。トール、リック、家族を守りたいというあなたたちの気持ちは痛いほどわかります。そして自分の常識が全く通じない世界にやってきた心細さも不安も私は理解できるつもりです。でも
Yeah, I mean, if one person can understand all of these, then she is the only one, right? Coming from a different world into this one, new family, all this new stuff, all the stuff she likes are not available. So she tries to make them herself. She finally is fitting in, she's growing up, you know, she's getting closer to her family, everything is good, and then she gets ripped apart from her family again to a new family. And now we have to repeat the whole thing again. So yeah. She's the one that understands this the most. And it's not even that they get separated. They can't sleep together, which, yeah, totally understandable. It could be scary. But after a couple of nights, it should be fine. Because you can spend most of your day together.
一緒に眠らなくても一緒に過ごせるでしょ。
私、ここで寝る。
姉ちゃん！
言う通りにすれば、ここに置いてもらえるんでしょ？私、ここがいい。
No idea how comfortable these wooden blocks are. They don't feel like good beds. However, I guess you can't really be choosy in this environment.
私も
Better than
わかった。
sleeping on the ground.
トールもいいよな。ああ。
まずは一件落着だね。
まずい。ノーラだけでも取り返さなければ。
Again, pretty words don't solve all the problems, do they? I mean, she is the daughter of the orb, adoptive or not, doesn't really matter. And he is still not accepting what she's doing.
子供たちに無礼な態度を許してはなりません。相手が思い上がって増長し、結果としてローゼマイン様の機嫌を損ねることを私は一番恐れているのです。
君が怒ると魔力が暴走するからな。周囲の被害が大きい。
最初が肝心です。優しさは美点ですが、甘さと履き違えてはなりません。
以後気をつけます。
Ferdinand's task. So they are like, yeah, we don't want you to go off, so we have to manage your surroundings. Unless, if we don't do that, you are just going to kill people or start with that. So, again, the whole contract, lots of loopholes. She was able to meet her mom, she was able to meet her dad, and the closest in physical contact she got was touching the hand of her dad, which is, it's quite a big gap they have. We finished the orphanage in Hase. We got 4 whole children in there for a building that looks like it can host like 20 to 30. So no idea how she wants to do anything here. She needs a lot more people to work the orphanage, right? Because this is part of the printing industry. And I don't believe 4 people are enough. Maybe we get a couple people from the city. We also did not really see much of the way from the city to Hase. Not that it is that important, right? I don't believe anything really happens there. So, okay. And yeah, we see that the mayor is not happy. He wants Nora back because he wants to sell her. Which is what the High Bishop was doing, right? We do know that there was a whole system of flower giving, which, I mean, the church is bad in anime. Who would have guessed? It's such a weird thing to happen there. With the old High Bishop, he wants to sell Nora. I guess we will find out who is he wants to sell her to, and we are going to find out what he wants to do to get her back. He's still going against the orb, the daughter of the orb. I don't know. It feels pretty stupid. And I find it weird that Ferdinand doesn't have anyone at his side. Because mine has 2 guards and Ferdinand has 0. We don't even have any of his attendants here.